eyes in the Big Ten are on Purdue, and the Boilermakers have suddenly made it a race. The 1-2 scoring punch of E'Twaun Moore and Juwan Johnson marching into East Lansing to face the resurgent Kalen Lucas and Michigan State coming up next.
Hey, bring it up. Yo, man. Let's get it, dog. Let's get it. Hey, we got to come out here from the gate. We know what's up, man. Start doors. 1, 2, 3. Start doors.
Welcome to college basketball, presented by 5 Hour Energy. It's all part of Judgment Week, presented by the movie Battle Los Angeles. And today, from the Breslin Center at Michigan State, the Spartans and the number 8 Boilermakers square off, with Purdue having stalled Ohio State's coronation party. But things looking better and better for Michigan State. They're on the bubble right now, but take a look at their resume. They're facing their 13th ranked opponent today, an RPI of 37. And another hot team facing the Boilermakers. Hi, everybody. Welcome to East Lansing. Great to have you along. I'm Dave O'Brien alongside the coach, Dan Dockich. They're going to try and white out the men in black today here at Michigan State, the Purdue Boilermakers. But the Boilers come in cooking, Dan.
Cooking all year. People don't realize, because of the emphasis on defense with Purdue, this is the leading scoring team in the Big Ten. They are going to guard you, but you better score against Purdue, because they will.
Look at Star Watch now. E'Twaun Moore and Kalen Lucas, they're both playing in 5th gear at this time of the year.
They're doing what seniors are supposed to do. You know, it's one thing to score a bunch of points in a tournament in November, but E'Twaun Moore has absolutely been on fire, 23 over his last 5, and so has Kalen Lucas. Again, a senior. This play right there last game, Minnesota told me Kalen Lucas is back. He doesn't come out very much. Tom Izzo's going to try to get him out for a minute or two, and that's about it.
Look at the lineups now for Purdue. Juwan Johnson is the Big Ten's number 2 scorer, but point guard Lewis Jackson was the difference in the first Purdue-Michigan State game. He had 19 slashing to the basket over and over. For Michigan State, Draymond Green does whatever is required to win. Darrell Summers coming off the bench these days. So former walk-on Mike Keebler is making his 3rd consecutive start. Very good crew here today. Mike Kitts, John Higgins, and Mike Eads, as you would expect. The opening tip, and we are underway as Purdue controls. They have their first crack at it. Boilermakers coming in at 23-5. Michigan State at 16-11. And a quick turnover as it bounces right to Draymond Green.
It's funny, I talked to Paul Luss, the assistant coach. We were talking about Lewis Jackson, how good he's been playing, how well he's been playing. He said, but I guarantee you he makes a turnover within the first 2 minutes, and he just did. Here's
Lucas, who's averaging 21 over his last 8 games. Green out of the double team. Here's Appling, can't cash in. And E'Twaun Moore had that spectacular game against Ohio State recently with 38 points. Juwan Johnson on the back down, and that won't fall.
But a good look. Michigan State's going to have to figure, are we doubling? Are we not doubling? What do we do with Juwan Johnson?
Who got back quickly and knocked that one out of play. And there's Matt Painter in his 6th year for Purdue. He's reached 20 wins 5 years in a row at Purdue, and he's guided the Boilermakers to double-digit Big Ten wins 4 straight seasons.
And more than that, 5 years in a row, the win total has increased. There's only 4 other teams in college basketball that have done that. He took over. They were 9-19 year before Gene Katie's last. They had 7 wins, and he's got to be a candidate for National Coach of the Year, losing Hummel and putting Purdue where they are.
Garrett Sherman on the high post, won't shoot it very often. Green, slick bounce pass, and a collision and a foul as you saw Bird go airborne and over the back. Well, we talked about the whiteout. Everybody wearing white in the building. Somebody asked Tom Izzo, given that, are you going to be wearing a white suit today? He said, I'm not wearing a white suit. I may be wearing a hard hat. It's going to be that kind of a day.
And that's why he has Keebler and Sherman in the game to start.
Smith giving it up and too much. And a little too unselfish there by Ryan Smith. That Painter wanted the basket.
Dave, Ryan Smith, turnover there. In Big Ten play, he is 29 to 3. 29 assists to 3 turnovers in Big Ten play. Very undervalued, but a bad play there.
They had a transition hoop in the making. And now Lucas nearly throws it away. Keebler with the hustle. That was tipped by Purdue. So he picks it up in the backcourt. That's one of the reasons he's in there.
That is the reason he's in there. Remember, Darrell Summers benched at the end of the Ohio State game for not hustling.
Green can't connect. Lucas with the rebound and knocks it down. That mid-range jumper. And finally, the first couple of points on the board. Johnson averaging 20 a game. Here's Lewis Jackson trying to find somebody. Shot clock at 15. Moore leans in. That's his shot.
That's a senior. Came off a down screen. He knew Draymond Green had switched to him and wasn't serious about playing defense. He read it, went right past him.
Green penetrates and draws the foul. Draymond Green so hard to handle matchup-wise at 6'7", and can put the ball to the deck like that and pass it and hit threes.
He needs to forget about threes, in my opinion, in this game, unless they're trailing or off a quick pick and pop. That's what he needs to do. He needs to spend time on the left block or in transition, take the ball, go at the rim, and live at the foul line this afternoon.
Ryan Smith with a foul. He hit 68% at the line. And Delvon Rowe is going to come on along with Darrell Summers, the senior, who has been such a puzzle for Tom Izzo in a season that Izzo has described as a perfect storm of events to conspire against Michigan State. They had all those guys coming off injuries and surgeries, and they had to dispatch a couple of players for disciplinary reasons. He hasn't had the rotation that he would like, and yet there they are on the bubble today.
And a big part of where they're going to end up is Darrell Summers. They've played well last two games from a toughness standpoint, but they need Summers to make shots.
Bird got a pretty good look. Rebound tipped. Johnson up, draws the foul, but can't cash in. He will go to the line. And on a topic on the returning players who are banged up. Kalen Lucas right at the top. It's really taken him, Dan, I think, until this point to feel like his legs are under him.
Talking to Tom Izzo before the game, I said, okay, is he back? He said, yeah. He said, you know, when you're with him every day, you don't realize where he was 2 months ago. But now watching film, he went back and watched some tape on games over Christmas, and now watching him, he said it's clear to see, watching one to the other, that you can see he's a much better basketball player, much quicker, much more explosive.
Summers committing the foul to put Juwan Johnson at the line, and hits that one. Certainly a very serious candidate for Big Ten Player of the Year with 20 points and 8 rebounds a game.
Kid to watch here is Delvon Rowe on the block. If Purdue's defense has an Achilles, it's Juwan Johnson guarding an aggressive post guy. Rowe very effective with 16 last time against Purdue.
Lucas in this 8-game stretch, the best of his career, is averaging 21 a game. Green in and out with a jump shot. And we've yet to see Jackson find a seam to penetrate. Moore with another leaner off the side of the backboard as he was harassed. Lucas has Summers with him, and that time backed it out. Delvon Rowe dribbled down, lost it.
Great help
away.
Moore. Great help by E'Twaun Moore.
He got over and forced the turnover. Johnson with the fall away and a feathery touch.
He could not do that a year ago. He just couldn't do it. He could make once in a while. Now it's a consistent shot. Turning away from the defense left shoulder, turning away from the defense right shoulder, along with the jump shot, have been the biggest improvement in Johnson's game.
Green dumping it down for a nice pass, and he'll lay it in.
See right there. Right there, Delvon Rowe just pushed off, was more physical than Juwan Johnson. Look for Michigan State to go there early and go there often.
Well, he had 16 points the last time they met, and Purdue won that game by 10 points at West Lafayette. Although Tom Izzo was very happy with the way they played. There's the theft by Green. Pass ahead, Lucas trying to finish it. Oh, he went in awkwardly, but he took the foul anyway, made the basket. Terrific play by Kalen Lucas to keep his balance.
Terrific play by Lucas, but an even better outlet. This outlet by Draymond Green on one bounce, perfect pass and finish.
Why do we go through so much hassle for our morning coffee? We wait for it, make it, fuss with it, carry it around. There has to be a faster and easier way to get your morning wake up. There is. 5-Hour Energy. It's the morning wake up you don't have to make, wait for, or hassle with. And it really works. Just open it up and knock it back.
That was fast and easy.
5-Hour Energy, the no-wait, no-hassle way to a great morning.
Cut! What's that doing on my set?
Product placement, sir. Whenever we feature a product in a scene, we get tons of free stuff.
Here we go.
Really? Hi, lady.
It's the sure sign of a good time. It's just right taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
More Bud Light?
This isn't New York City. Or the Windy City. Or Sin City. And we're certainly no one's Emerald City. We're the Motor City. And this is what we do.
Wednesday Night Hoops. The action tips at 7 on ESPN.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by 5-Hour Energy, the no-wait, no-hassle way to a great morning. And in part by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. And Chrysler, imported from Detroit.
Welcome back to the Breslin Center, home of the Michigan State Spartans, all locked up 6-6 with Purdue. And Dan Dockage, take us inside the play.
Well, Purdue knows Juwan Johnson needs help. Watch E'Twaun Moore, particularly his right hand here on this play. The ball is going to be fed to Delvon Rowe right there. Juwan Johnson goes in and digs it out. You don't need to double. There's no need for Purdue to straight double the post, but you have to get hands in. You have to get into Delvon Rowe or Adrian Payne when they have Juwan Johnson in the post.
Purdue's intense defense gets a lot of credit. Top 5 defensively in the country. Tonight, ESPN delivering 2 star-studded Eastern Conference foes. Carmelo Anthony and the Knicks taking on one of the league's best, of course, in LeBron and the Heat. That's at 8 o'clock Eastern. NBA tonight. Lucas at the line. Fouled by Bird moments ago. Just picked up his 2nd foul. And Lucas buries the first. And buries that one to complete a 3-point play. 7-6 Michigan State. Johnson handing off here for E'Twaun Moore. Now Kelsey Barlow into the ball game with the bounce. Jerome Johnson also in, a freshman for Matt Painter. Fall away there by Moore for 2.
That was Purdue basketball offensively. 7 screens. The ball kept moving, reversing the basketball. Finally off a back screen, Moore gets a shot.
Traveling violation. So Michigan State will kick it back.
Dave, E'Twaun Moore there on that play. The defensive play caused that turnover. Appling coming across a staple Michigan State play. Moore flew out at him, denied it, forced the turnover.
Moore and Johnson are the story, as they so often are in the scoring column for the Boilermakers. Near steal by Rowe. That opens up the lane for Johnson to stop.
Delvon Rowe doesn't make many defensive mistakes, but running through the passing lane, you don't say, hey, you know, good hustle. You do that when kids are in Little League. You say, be smarter than that. Stay in front of them.
Juwan Johnson hasn't played less than 37 minutes in his last 6 games. So he has been an Iron Man for Matt Painter in this run for the Boilermakers. They're looking for their 6th in a row today. Corner jumper, no by Lucas. It's batted out. And it'll go the other way. It'll be Boilermaker ball.
Well, let's look at Delvon Rowe. You see him right here. Juwan Johnson not a real threat out here, but Delvon Rowe runs through the passing lane. Here's the rule of thumb. If you are 100% sure you can make the steal, go for the steal. Any less than 100%, just play position, keep your man in front.
Ward denied in the lane, but turns around and fires and draws the foul. So he gets hit with 14-12 to go. Appling trying to guard him, picks up his first personal. And so that will put E'Twaun Moore at the line, 71%. Now he followed up his off-the-charts performance against Ohio State. The 38 points a week ago with a solid 17 against Indiana.
I talked to him after the Ohio State game. You know that shot he hit where he flipped it over his head in transition or midway through the first half?
Yep.
He told me straight, he said, you know, once I hit that, I knew I was off to the races.
Yeah. Anything else is going to fall. You know that.
That's what, you know, he had another one where he kind of bobbled it second half, top of the key. He was bobbling going up for a three. Stayed with it, knocked it in. One of the great performances in the history of Purdue basketball.
Well, he had half of their points that night. They scored 76. He hit 13. And he hit 7 threes. Rowe over the top here for Thornton. Shot clock now down to 12 for the Spartans. Lucas batted away momentarily there by Barlow. Gets it back. Shot clock at 7. Lucas pulls up, fires, and rebounded away by Jawan Johnson. Johnson jumping in, does not shoot it. Tapped away and picked up by Rowe. Lucas wants to push the tempo. Payne is intended target, and it slipped by him, knocked away. And now the theft by Rowe. They got a 2-on-1. Lucas tried to reverse, and he got it to go. He wanted a foul, too.
So did Coach Izzo. It's 5 turnovers by Purdue in 7 minutes. They had 4 the entire Ohio State game.
Johnson trying to work on Rowe, one of the great defenders in the league, and blocks him. Got it clean. Appling, terrific young freshman. Corner jumper around and out there by Thornton. Now a foul in the rebounding fray with 12:46 to go in the first half. Let's go back to Etwan Moore on February 20. I mean, when that shot goes.
That's what he said. He said that when I made that, I knew I was off to the races. And here's another senior, Kalen Lucas. A little up and under. Lucky they didn't call a foul on Barlow. Lucky for Purdue they didn't call a foul on Barlow. Coach Izzo was screaming mad. You know, Barlow's come in 2 turnovers, and that's kind of his problem. Some games he'll play, some games he won't.
Lucas has 7 of the 9 for Michigan State. He's on a bench right now. Lewis Jackson hammered to the floor with 12:31 to go. Jackson, who had 19 the first time they met. Draymond Green will pick up the personal. Jackson averaging around 4.5 assists a game.
Cardinal error by Appling, letting Jackson go to his right from the top of the key. That is the area that he destroyed Michigan State for 19 points. And when I say destroyed, his 3 straight layups in the first meeting of these two changed the complexion of the entire basketball game. 2 of them were going to the right in that exact spot, 1 of them to the left. Coach Izzo before the game said, we cannot let him drive the scene.
He's been playing big in big games. He had 18 in the victory against Ohio State as well.
Has a different look about him. I thought against Indiana, he had such a confidence. He was involved in just wearing Indiana out in the last 5 minutes.
Green leading the Spartans in rebounds, assists, and steals. Here's Keebler. Former walk-on, quite a story. His best sport in high school was actually tennis and not basketball.
He's a motocross guy, too. Picture in the paper today of him flying through the air on a bike.
Getting a chance to size. Shot clock at 4. He has to fire it up, and he nails it with a shot clock winding down. Boilermakers by 2. They're the hottest team in the league, one of the hottest teams in the country. But on the road in one of the toughest places to play in America. Johnson with a kick back out. Jackson will pull up from 17. Rebound tipped out to him. He got a little fortunate. Long one on the way, and that one will rattle in by Smith.
Ryan Smith started out the Big Ten season. He was a Big Ten Player of the Week the first week, averaged 17. Cooled off since then, but still a 48% three-point shooter.
Can light it up against Iowa. He hit 6 of those. Here's Payne straight on. Rebound knocked away. Summers had it stolen by Barlow. Taken right out of his hands. Johnson knocks down a 3, and now they're starting to fall for the Boilermakers, who hit 38% beyond that arc.
A couple weeks ago, did the Indiana-Purdue game. And Tyrone Johnson, he was startling the difference in how he looked. Much more confident, much more in tune to the team. You look out here right now, Dave, there's not a top 150 player for Purdue right now on the court coming out of high school.
Michigan State with a foul off the ball. That's an 8-point lead for the Boilermakers, who are starting to click as they have for several weeks.
If you believe access to your financial advisor should be a right, not a privilege.
Join the nearly 7 million who invest with Edward Jones, ranked highest in investor satisfaction by J.D. Power & Associates 2 years in a row.
This isn't New York City, or the Windy City, or Sin City, and we're certainly no one's Emerald City. We're the Motor City, and this is what we do.
So how you liking the taste of that Diet Mountain Dew?
It's great. Unexpected. In fact, since I've been drinking it, I went and got this. Whoa.
I know what you mean. Since I tasted it, I went and got this.
The taste of Diet Mountain Dew is a powerful thing. Diet tastes better on the mountain.
Ugh.
Linens and duvet washed fresh for every guest. Real value from your friends at Hampton.
John Saunders back in the studio. Big day of basketball on the ESPN family of networks. Over on ESPN2, Xavier, the leaders in the Atlantic 10, lead Dayton. As you know, the game you're watching, Purdue leading Michigan State. And UConn against Cincinnati, a huge one for position in the Big East. Back to Dave and Dan.
Hi, John. Thank you very much. Purdue opening up a little bit of an advantage here. 19-11 over Michigan State. It's a 13-4 run since Michigan State had a 7-6 lead. And the Spartans have cooled off. Warren Johnson scored the first 11. The other guys have scored the last 8. E'Twaun Moore has already eclipsed 2,000 career points for Purdue. I think a very underrated career even still. But here are the Big Ten active scoring leaders.
I'm so with you on E'Twaun Moore being underrated. 4 straight years he's in the top 10 in scoring in the Big Ten, and he defends. You know, 4th player in Big Ten history with 2,000 points, 500 rebounds, 350 assists.
His high school team at East Chicago, Indiana, retired his number 22 on Friday night. He turned 22 on Friday, and he got a chance to go and be part of the ceremony. And for a young man, it's just a great night.
He comes from one of the great high schools in the state of Indiana. It used to be East Chicago, Washington, and East Chicago, Roosevelt. Greatest high school team people in Indiana will tell you is a 71 East Chicago, Washington team. 3 guys won national championships, but comes from a great high school, and what an honor. Won a state championship, get your uniform retired, beat Eric Gordon's team in the state final game.
And his pal Juwan Johnson went to the ceremony. He went to be part of that as well. A quick strike by Michigan State, I should say by Purdue, 21-11, and they continue to play very well on the interior and outside that 3-point line. Keebler, Lucas, Summers, Green, and Sherman on the floor now for the Spartans. ESPN, the home court of college hoops, continuing tomorrow. A great doubleheader at 7. It's Villanova and a tough road test in South Bend against Notre Dame. Then at 9 o'clock Eastern, it's Kansas State facing Texas. How does Texas recover from blowing a 22-point lead?
Good thing for Texas, they get to play immediately.
Yeah.
You do not want to sit on that loss for a long time. Notre Dame, interesting team. Talked to Scott Martin. He said, you know, we're so veteran, we're so old. He said, no situation bothers us. All the seniors with Hansbrough, Arvamitis.
Lucas stops. Got some air underneath it. Tep, no. Green gets it back and draws the foul. A little bit frustrated. He's not been able to get it in, but he will go to the line for 2.
Dave, all the Draymond Green shooting jump shots, that's great. That's all for practice and pregame. I think every game for 2 hours a day, and that's what a college basketball game lasts. He ought to just stay on the right block, left block, and just go to work down there. And not worry about being an all-around player in these last 5-6 games that he has, however many he has, is go there and dominate on the block and on the backboard.
Foul one against Barlow. He goes to the bench. Bird back on now for Matt Painter. And Green in and out. So Purdue with the upper hand here. And as we mentioned, Etuan Moore and Juwan Johnson are the superstars. At least they were early. But now the other guys are contributing. Tyrone Johnson. Back up top for Juwan. Freshman hands off to Bird here. Under 9.5 to go in the first half. Moore wants to make a move. Denied by Summers. Here's Jackson. Can't bury it.
That was the most stagnant possession Purdue had. Guys were looking to drive, but nobody was looking to screen.
Michigan State moving it very effectively for the Keebler jumper.
And that time, Etuan Moore left Keebler to go straight double Delvon Rowe. Last time he stuck a hand, and this time he went to straight double. Keebler made him pay.
Bird got an excellent look, but it's around and out. And he's had opportunities from long range to make shots. Lucas pulls up again, and too long. Bird left open again, won't shoot it this time. Moore trying to make a move on the baseline and turns it over. He's on the line. To check out the standings now and how Ohio State's lead has been chopped down to 1. And Buckeyes leading Purdue right now by the 1 game. And Ohio State faces Indiana later today, Columbus.
Indiana today at Penn State, a game that a lot of people think will be very difficult, and then they end it with Wisconsin, a game that everybody knows will be very difficult.
And how about Michigan now at 18-12 overall? They are in the NCAA tournament picture. In fact, Joe Lunardi has them in the field of 68 as of this morning.
Michigan 5-7 on the road, 0-7 against the top 25. They have some work to do, but with a great strength of schedule, 18, depending on who you listen to, around 18.
Great shot in heavy traffic by Kalen Lucas to bank it in.
Kalen Lucas, no doubt, much more confident, much more physical than he was last time we had him, which was a couple weeks ago.
Barlow off the screen to drive it. Harassed by Summers. Payne comes up with it. It's Lucas against Moore. Into the lane. Trying to make a tricky shot. That wouldn't fall. 7:38 to go. It'll go the other way. 21-16. Purdue in the lead at Michigan State.
This isn't New York City. Or the Windy City. Or Sin City. And we're certainly no one's Emerald City. We're the Motor City. And this is what we do.
Rev up with ESPN and the Nationwide Insurance Code Spotter Sweepstakes. Just spot codes during each NASCAR Nationwide Series race. Play by entering the codes online through ESPN.com. You could win a VIP experience with one of these NASCAR teams. Visit ESPN.com, keyword search Nationwide Insurance to play, and tune into NASCAR Nation.
Introducing the new Florida Edition Malibu, exclusively designed for Florida and easy to own. Backed by a 3-year Smart Care maintenance package and no extra cost. Plus, you get a sunroof, remote start, Bluetooth, and more. The Florida Edition Malibu. Finally, a car Floridians can call their own.
Current GM owners and lessees use $3,500 total allowance to buy this Florida Edition Chevy Malibu for $21,495.
See your local Chevy dealer.
The soul and spirit of America, John Mellencamp, the No Better Than This tour. Saturday, March 5th, Times Union Center, Moran Theater. New album, available everywhere, now. Your reserved seat tickets are on sale now, online at Ticketmaster.com. John Mellencamp, produced by AEG Live.
To siorder.com or call 800-632-2700 now.
John Saunders back in the studio. As I said, a very big day in the Big East. West Virginia trying to get to the 500 mark. With a victory, they would guarantee that. But they trail Rutgers 42-41 after Jonathan Mitchell lays that one in. UConn, meanwhile, trying to move into the top 8, and they lead at Cincinnati 52-43. We'll have more coming up at halftime. Right now, back to Dave.
All right, John, 21-16 here. Purdue with the lead, but Michigan State feeling like they should have had a bucket on the other end, but maybe a little too creative from Kalen Lucas.
There's no question. Watch number 33 Moore here. He gets back. His head right now is under the basket, so you have to shoot over him. Now watch him go up and not foul. Earlier in that play, Kalen Lucas went behind his back to make the move, and you can see Coach Izzo basically saying, what are you doing?
He's at 9 of Michigan State's 16. He's taken half the shots for the Spartans. And we mentioned coming in how well he's been shooting the ball over this 8-game stretch. It's the best of his career scoring-wise, averaging 21 points a game. And Tom Izzo didn't look too pleased that his senior tried to do too much there. Or back to Johnson, and the foul by Rowe, and he can't believe it, and Izzo can't. I mean, Izzo actually stomping mad literally after the foul. 7:22 to go, and they're going to hear it.
Moore and Johnson on the same side, tough to defend on a repost, kick out repost. Delvon Rowe just battling. You can call that every possession if you want.
Now swatted away by Payne, but they'll get it back. Blocked by Payne. Is about as long and lean as they get in the Big Ten or anywhere else. There's a 7'1" wingspan. Jackson with a miss. Carroll with another tough rebound. It's 2 in a row for him.
That's why he's in there. He's become a physical, tough inside player. Doesn't statistically show you much, but comes up with the ball.
Etuan Moore is straight on and all net for 3.
Juwan Johnson came out and set a ball screen, and it surprised Appling and it surprised Rowe. And if you're surprised that someone's going to screen from Etuan Moore, you haven't been paying attention to the scouting report.
So someone other than Lucas, we'll see if they get involved offensively. Barlow bodying up on Lucas, and he commits the foul. ESPN is the home court of college hoops Tuesday night at 7 Eastern. It's this Purdue team on the floor again, hosting Illinois. Also at 7 at ESPNU, Alabama and Florida, and then at 9 o'clock on ESPN, Vanderbilt and Kentucky, all coming your way on Tuesday. And Tom Izzo and Delvon Rowe with an extended conversation.
Both talking about how they didn't like the call, I think.
Yeah, they're not going over Delvon's Academy Award picks for tonight. He's a theater major. Straight on jumper, around and out by Appling. Michigan State has not made a three-pointer. They are 0 for 5. Here's Moore. Off the back of the iron. Hustle play there by Jackson to get it back to Etuan Moore. Off the fake, blocked by Sherman. Clean stop there by Sherman, leading the charge. Thornton on the drive, can't connect. Couldn't finish. Sherman blocked by Juwan Johnson. So both teams buckling down defensively.
And that's the effect of Darrell Summers not being in the game. That's a play Darrell Summers makes. That's a play Darrell Summers made dunk. Here comes Summers. Get back in the game. They've got to get Darrell Summers going.
Carroll buries it, a two-pointer.
In high school, Travis Carroll was considered a Brad Miller type of kid. If you remember, he played at Purdue. Great wide hips on him, shoot the basketball. Very skilled kid. He hasn't translated yet to his college career, but it will.
And so far, the whiteout here at the Breslin Center has not worked against Purdue, and these men in black, they've really been quieted by the Boilermaker performance, leading by 10. 5 minutes to go in the half. Thornton in the corner. Shots just not falling from beyond that three-point line at all for the Spartans here today. Or to penetrate. Swing for Juwan Johnson. Yes, a three-pointer. And a timeout, Tom Izzo. Biggest lead of the half here. The Boilermakers up by 13.
So you have 5 brothers.
Tough being the only girl. There's a man in the house.
Who's this?
This is Rufus.
Hey, Rufus.
He's actually pretty talented. You want to see him do a trick?
Okay.
Hey, Rufus, what do we love? We love our bank. We love our bank. We love our bank. We love our bank.
You really love your bank, don't you?
Ally Bank customers love our 24/7 customer care that allows you to talk to a real person anytime. Ally, do you love your bank?
Well, this is a 16-5 run for the Boilermakers, and we talked about how hot they are coming in. Dan Dockich, they're going for their 6th consecutive win, only 1 game behind Ohio State in the Big Ten, and they're playing like that kind of team.
Incredible confidence from every guy that's coming into the game, whether it's Tyrone Johnson, whether it's Carroll. Every single guy on Purdue's team is comfortable and confident.
And leading by 13. Johnson already, Juwan Johnson with 9 rebounds himself. Michigan State only has 11 total rebounds as a team. So the Big Ten Player of the Year candidate has shown up in a big way for Purdue. On the drive, Lucas, and draws the foul, 4:25 to go. He's trying to create almost like he's a one-man band.
This is a staple out of timeouts. Hit the elbow, back cut from ball side. Lewis Jackson just got a little excited taking the pass away, but Tom Izzo's been running that play for as long as he's been the coach.
Carroll with the foul, Lucas at the line, and drops in the first one. He's their 3rd all-time foul shooter at Michigan State in terms of free throws made. So he spent a lot of time in the line over his career.
In this game, this is the lineup that if Tom Izzo and Michigan State are going to get back into it, this is the lineup right here. You've got versatility, but the key is going to be, is Darrell Summers going to play? Is he going to hit some shots? Is he going to get out in transition, rebound the ball? And he hasn't done anything to this point.
And frankly, they don't know which Darrell Summers is going to show up from one game to the next. It's one of the reasons he's not starting these days. And Keebler, the former walk-on, is starting in his place. By the way, those were the first Michigan State points in about 4 minutes. Johnson. Again, not this time.
It's one of the reasons I like this lineup, because Draymond Green or Rowe can take a turn on Johnson.
We're getting instructions now from Tom Izzo, and here's Lucas to run the point. Michigan State lost to Purdue at Mackey Arena last month by 10. Lucas a 3. Another rebound for Juwan Johnson, so he's already into double figures with 10 rebounds. So he's having a monster day on the glass. It was tipped to Moore. That's the way the half is going for Purdue.
That's just bad luck. That's just bad luck for Michigan State. Bad pass by Johnson. Ball gets tipped, and Galen Lucas had hustled to get in front of Moore, but the pass went behind. It was like a back shoulder pass in football.
So it is clicking for the Boilermakers. Rowe with a catch. Can't lay it in. Boy, he was right on top of the rim and knocked it out of play as well. Goodness. Michigan State has missed 7 consecutive shots. Tom Izzo can't buy a basket.
ESPN, your NBA destination. The Big Apple finally gets its man as New York's blockbuster deal brings Carmelo Anthony home. Tonight, with another star piece added to the puzzle, Amari Stoudemire and the new look Knicks are out to make a statement against the league's best in Miami. But LeBron James and Dwayne Wade will be ready to defend their stellar home record as they look to continue rolling in the East. Coverage of Knicks Heat begins tonight at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN.
Hey there, can I get a light beer? Smiley face.
Okay. Do you want more taste or less taste?
LOL, ... I just want a light beer. Smiley face.
Well, when you learn to talk like a grown-up, come on back, and I'll get you a Miller Lite.
OMG.
Aw, sad face.
Man up and choose a light beer with more taste. Grab a triple hops brewed Miller Lite with that great Pilsner taste.
XOXO.
N-O-N-O.
What if your only way home was with this guy?
I'm a deep sleeper. It's a condition.
See if the rental agreement's in the... I have coverage.
Due date.
Watch it now with Movies on Demand.
Also raises the levels of...
Free hot breakfast with fresh waffles. Real value from your friends at Hampton.
Better ingredients, better pizza is not a slogan. It is a way of life.
Papa's in the house. Get Papa John's new hearty Italian meats pizza with Italian ham, pepperoni, salami, and spicy Italian sausage. Just $11 for a large. Order now at the new papajohns.com.
Perfect.
Give yourself an edge. One A Day Men's Pro Edge. A complete multivitamin with more magnesium to help support healthy muscle function. More B vitamins to help convert food to fuel. More confidence in a healthy you. One A Day Men's Pro Edge.
John Saunders back in the studio. Want to remind you, coming up soon on the UPS Halftime Report, I'll be joined by Adrian Branch. UConn Huskies in need to win against the Bearcats, and perhaps the Bearcats need one to stay in that field of 68. Other Big East battles as well, and the upsets that happened over the weekend. We'll let you know perhaps who's headed for a #1 seed. And an NBA look, Carmelo Anthony coming up against the Heat.
And meantime here in East Lansing, Darrell Summers and Michigan State trying to find a way to get back in it. Purdue is beating them up 31-18.
Juwan Johnson already has a double-double with 11 and 10. Key stat in this game, as it always is when you play Michigan State, rebounding. Purdue 20, Michigan State 12.
Freshman Johnson. Up top to the senior Johnson. Juwan more off a screen. Finds his pal who turns around and might have actually been partially blocked there by Draymond Green. I think he got a finger on it and he made it anyway.
On a turnaround jump shot, you walk into the offensive player if you're the defender. Draymond Green did everything right there, but Juwan Johnson with so much confidence and such high lift on his shot, he shoots the ball way over his head.
Green to penetrate, swatted away by Juwan Johnson, who's having quite a half. As you mentioned, already a double-double, a couple of block shots to boot. The catch by Carroll on the baseline. Here's Juwan Johnson in traffic strip. Summers got it free to Lucas. Lucas, wild shot, and there's a foul with 2:04 left. And back to that swat by Juwan Johnson moments ago.
Well, if you're going to take it in, you better know where Juwan Johnson is. You cannot fall. See how Green is falling as he's going to the rim? Watch here. Watch how much he goes forward right here. He's falling. So the ball is only shot from about 6.5 feet. When you get in against the shot blocker, you jump stop, shot fake, put two hands on the backboard. Made it easy for Johnson there.
He's the #1 shot blocker in the Big Ten. Lucas connects on the pair. It's a 13-point lead again. The Boilermakers ranked #8 in the country. Putting pressure on Ohio State in the Big Ten. Johnson's jumper is too long. Carroll went down on the seat of his pants. It'll go the other way. He was trying to buy a foul there. Matt Painter certainly thought there was one. Michigan State has missed their last 8 shots, Dan.
They've been quick to shoot. But having said that, they've had some great looks. Left corner, Thornton's had one, Keebler's had.
Haven't had a field goal until this point for 6.5 minutes. Great spin move, however, by Delvon Rowe, and some life now out of the Spartans.
I really believe in this game. Now, later on in the game, maybe they can hit some threes, but every possession to start the second half, it needs to go on the block to either Green or Rowe and figure it out from there.
Johnson with the floater. Rebounded away by Draymond Green. Quick outlet Lucas. Lucas dribbled it and knocked away, and there's a foul on the play. Now, E'Twaun Moore thought it should have actually gone against the Spartans as he argues his case 1:01 left in the half. It'll go on Moore, his second.
What he's arguing is the ball was lost. Lucas dribbled off his teammate's foot. Really not a foul there. Kalen Lucas, this 3 times in this half, has not helped Summers out. Summers was running there. The ball could have been taken to the right where he is right now, middle of the lane, and dropped back to Summers. That's 3 times Summers has had an opportunity to get a pass from Lucas. Lucas has missed him in this half. That's as a point guard. You've got to figure out, okay, my kid is struggling. My roommate, guy who's really important, struggling. Let me set him up, as opposed to really anything else. And he hasn't done it 3 times.
Lucas with 15 points to lead Michigan State. Timeout. 1:01 to go before the break. 33-24. We were talking about Michigan earlier, and John Beilein's team is suddenly on the bubble. 18-12, 8-9 in conference play. Look at that strength of schedule. 4 wins against the RPI top 50. And a team on the bubble. And, you know, I think 10, 12 days ago, nobody was talking about Michigan in that respect.
Well, I think you would have counted them out. But think about the Kansas game. They went to overtime with Kansas. Getting great play, John Beilein is. Out of Darius Morris. He has all year. Darius Morris is one of the unsung guys in the Big Ten. And Tim Hardaway Jr. was sensational first half in their win yesterday against Minnesota. Sensational. Their team, their staff thinks he's an NBA guy. They have guys, but they're going to need a couple wins here, I believe, to get in.
Well, as close as the Spartans have been in many minutes, with some help from Mr. Mustard, I'm not sure what that's all about. 33-24. Jackson off to Johnson. A spin, and he traveled with it. So the youngster gives it up.
Really good defense. Lewis Jackson was trying to go to his right and beat him in that seam. Beat Lucas in that seam we were talking about. But Lucas' big step took it away, and Purdue got sped up. Johnson with the just going too fast with the turnover.
And after a timeout they had called, Michigan State on a little 6-0 run. Green off to Lucas. Shot clock at 15. And a whistle here by Mike Kitts, and he was hearing something coming from the bench. It's a warning against Purdue, and the Purdue bench with Matt Painter right in his ear. So the Boilermaker bench has been warned. Shot clock at 7. Summers around and out. Another rebound by Johnson, who's been a monster on the glass. Time for a final shot. Jackson can't get it to go. And Purdue will go to the locker room at halftime leading 33-24. But I think Tom Izzo has to like the way his team showed some life in the last moment or two.
And I think he found a lineup that he's going to be comfortable with. You try to find offense and you try to find a lineup, and I think Tom found both here in the last 3 minutes.
Trying to find a way to stop Juwan Johnson, who's been tremendous. So 33-24 at the break. Purdue at the lead as we send it back to John Saunders for the UPS halftime report.
Alongside of Adrian Branch, and Purdue is showing why they perhaps might have their eyes on a #1 seed if they can continue to roll and get some damage done in the Big Ten tournament as well. Michigan State, on the other hand, with some work to do. But Jim Valvano, my old good friend, the late great, used to say, your best players must be your best players, and that's what's happening for Purdue.
Well, that's right. This is usual suspects. You look at Etwan Moore, you look at Juwan Johnson. They haven't had an answer for him. And think about this, folks. Let's look at the big picture. Yes, Purdue is vying for a #1 seed. They're nicely slotted for a #2 seed, but they would have been doing this for the last 2 years if they had Robbie Hummel. So just think how good they are now. They would be doing that for the last 2 years. And by the way, Coach Valvano, he recruited me. I'm proud to say the legend recruited me for NC State.
So why'd you go to Maryland then?
Well, it's closer to home.
Why do you follow Derek Wittenberg and Cindy Lowe?
You charged me gas money at DeMatha. I didn't have any money.
Your teammates at DeMatha went there, but you didn't go there as well. Meanwhile, in the Big East, they are shuffling position game after game after game. UConn and Cincinnati. Right now, Cincinnati's in the top 8. Pete Rose is at the game.
There we go.
Taking this one in. And Yancey Gates to Darnell Wilkes. Bearcats are down by 1. Jeremy Lamb, this freshman, has been great.
With confidence, playing with confidence. Kimball Walker is starting to trust his teammates a little more in the season.
Another freshman, Shabazz Napier, finds Roscoe Smith, three-pointer. UConn leads by 7. And then Kemba Walker finds Napier on the wing, and he knocks down a 3.
John, this is a huge game for UConn because Cincinnati has been a hot team. So for them to try to do this on the road, both teams, I think, are squarely in for the NCAA tournament.
Let me ask you this question. West Virginia is at 8-7 with 3 games left, including this one against Rutgers. If they were to lose all 3 and be sub-500 in the conference, even though they have a strong RPI, do you think they're still in the tournament?
Well, it would be knocking on the door because then you would be going against teams like a Wichita State. You'd be going against a UNLV. Their conference helps them because it's a stronger RPI, but and you can control that yourself, win basketball games.
Their last 2 at home against UConn and Louisville as well, so nothing is a given. They need to get this win against Rutgers. All right, stick around. More to come on the UPS halftime report. It was a weekend of upsets. Surprise, surprise, surprise. We'll talk about who's headed where when we come back.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Universal Pictures' The Adjustment Bureau, starring Matt Damon and Emily Blunt, in theaters Friday. And Sun Life Financial, annuities, employee benefits, life insurance.
Let's race.
You challenged me in those shoes?
What if every decision you made was controlled by a higher plan?
We monitored the entire world.
Their plan. This Friday.
We were never supposed to see her again.
If you believe in choice.
If you stay with her, not only kills your dreams, it kills hers.
If you believe in fate.
What the hell is going on?
Fight for it.
I don't care what you put in my way, I'm not giving up.
The Adjustment Bureau. Rated PG-13.
Over 20 million customers have put their faith in Sun Life Financial. We should be a household name, and we will be.
So you're suggesting that we change our name from Florida, the Sunshine State, to
Florida?
Yeah.
The Sun Life State. The posters will be so cool.
Sooner or later, you'll know our name. Sun Life Financial.
Inside, Sullivan. Big fella.
At King's, our presidential event means huge savings all month.
Like Ford factory incentives, top dollar for your trade, plus up to an additional $1,500 trade-in assistance cash.
And get super low payments, like a 2011 Fiesta with automatic and sync, only $149 a month.
That's a little over 1 Benjamin.
Was Benjamin Franklin a president?
Okay, true. So 149 Washingtons.
Our presidential event going on now at King's. Hey, did you happen to see who cut that cherry tree down out back?
Wasn't me.
Big insurance firms have big resources, but at Fair & Farah, we've got the team that can level the playing field. Like one of our attorneys who used to work for an insurance company and now works with us. He knows the tactics they use to try to reduce the value of your claim. So don't let the insurance company pull the wool over your eyes. Call Farah & Farah. We know their playbook, and that makes all the difference in the world. Protecting you and your family for over 25 years.
The right insurance for your ride. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
This halftime report is delivered by UPS. Let UPS put the power of logistics to work for you.
Well, it's gone the way of Purdue in the first half, but not the fault of Kalen Lucas. He has 15 points. Just the same, Purdue has a 9-point lead at halftime. John Saunders alongside of Adrian Branch. Joe Lunardi, last 4 in. Richmond out of the Atlantic 10. Michigan making a late run. Alabama and Baylor. And the first 4 out, Memphis, Clemson, Boston College, and Colorado. Colorado, of course, coming off a big win. Now, the big surprise yesterday, although many people predicted it, was Virginia Tech knocking off Duke, doing it at home. And for that one, Seth Greenberg, you got to feel good for him because for the last couple of years, he has been on that bubble and can't find his way into the tournament. This one, I feel, gets them into the tournament. So from that standpoint, what does it do for Virginia Tech? More importantly, what does it do for Duke?
Well, it wasn't a bad loss for Duke. You see, seize the moment. You heard Coach K say, listen, this was an NCAA type of a tournament. It was great intensity. There was a desperate team, and the seniors that were playing, Malcolm Delaney, Jeff right there, Allen played tremendous basketball. So for Virginia Tech, they were desperate. For Duke, that was not a bad loss.
One of the reasons that makes college basketball so absolutely great. Look at the excitement on the floor afterwards. By the way, if you want to see that game again, it's an instant classic tonight at 6 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN. Again, Duke, #1 against Virginia Tech. Of course, they won't be #1 when it's coming up. And speaking of #1s, Joe Lunardi now says that BYU is his #1 seed out in the West.
Strike the bandwagon. I'm on the bandwagon. First of all, because Jimmer Fredette is the most entertaining player in the nation. How many point guards can stop on a dime, tell you if it's heads or tails, and then bomb away the three-pointer or give you an assist? But look at their strength of schedule. They're top 4 in the nation, and then their RPI is 22. They have earned it. This is not a gimmick team. And look, this may be this year's Butler's team, an unknown from your traditional Dukes and North Carolinas that may do a lot of damage in the tournament.
Well, if you want to make a comparison for those people who don't believe in BYU, look at Memphis in 2007, 2008, when they were not coming out of a power conference, 33-1, 16-0 overall. These comparisons are pretty favorable in favor of BYU and those who believe they should be a #1 seed.
And think about it, they had a point guard in Derrick Rose that was a high draft pick. Jimmer Fredette, though they're saying it's a weak draft, he's still going to be a high draft pick, a lot like Gordon Hayward was for Butler last year.
And then Texas, a lot of people thought was a #1 seed. They took a little bit of a tumble as well. Want to remind everybody what's coming up tomorrow. Villanova and Notre Dame. Fighting Irish still with an outside shot to win the Big East regular season championship. They need some help from Pitt. And Texas now against Kansas State at 9 o'clock Eastern time. More on the UPS halftime report in a moment.
This halftime report is delivered by UPS. Let UPS put the power of logistics to work for you.
Crossing borders with ease, clearing customs, a breeze, that's logistics. Adios, cheerio, au revoir, off it goes, that's logistics. Overseas, overland, on the web, on demand, that's logistics. Operations worldwide, UPS on your side, that's logistics.
So how you liking the taste of that Diet Mountain Dew?
It's great. Unexpected. In fact, since I've been drinking it, I went and got this. Wow.
I know what you mean. Since I tasted it, I went and got this.
Taste of Diet Mountain Dew is a powerful thing. Diet tastes better on the mountain.
Ooh, a brain teaser. How can Expedia now save me even more on my hotel? Well, hotels know they can't fill every room every day, like this one, and this one, and oops, my bad. So they give Expedia ginormous discounts with these unpublished rates, which means I get an even more rockin' hotel for less. My brain didn't even break a sweat. Where you book matters. Expedia.
He's a skier, she's a boarder, but we don't have to feud. That's right. Cat people, dog people.
We all look the same way new.
Good point. Even cowboys and city slickers. Everyone loves Angus beef, dude. Eat Arby's food. It's good food.
Introducing the Angus 3 cheese and bacon from Arby's. Oven roasted, fresh sliced. It's Angus beef done right. Arby's, it's good food.
An IBM computer system named Watson won Jeopardy! But the real winner? Humankind.
Life is really about questions and answers. This technology can help us get some of those answers.
We're going to revolutionize many, many fields with this new capability.
Healthcare, government, finance, anywhere decision-making depends on deeper understanding of the huge wealth of information that's out there.
I thought the game was the end. I'm realizing it's just the beginning. That's what I'm working on. I'm an IBMer.
You're watching the UPS Halftime Report.
Second half is coming up. Purdue with that lead over Michigan State. Want to remind you tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN, the Miami Heat against the new-look New York Knicks. In other words, the big three of the Heat against the big two of the Knicks.
If you're a competitive guy, you love moments like this. You know, to say, yo, man, we got a game tomorrow. We play against Miami. We play against the big three. We got to get up.
When you're competitive and you're seeing those guys across the way over there for the national anthem, getting ready for the game, your swag just goes up a whole nother notch. You understand what I'm saying? You're just ready to go from the start. It's going to be high energy. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be Knicks versus Heat. You know, I can't wait.
I guess Chauncey Billups would argue they got a big three there as well since he joined the Knicks. He may have been the key player in that trade as well. Knicks and Heat tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN as the NBA continues. Meanwhile, our second half continues in a moment. Purdue with the lead over Michigan State. Michigan State badly in need of a victory if they're going to get into that field of 68.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Sunkist Soda. Help coin Dickie V's next catchphrase for a chance to win $10,000. Log on to ESPN.com/phrasethepays to enter.
Could I get a light beer?
More taste or less taste?
Less is good for me.
Yeah, less would be good for you. Try spending less time in the tanning booth and I'll give you a Miller Lite.
Actually, this is, it's bronzer.
That's so much worse.
Man up and choose a light beer with more taste. Grab a triple hops brewed Miller Lite with that great Pilsner taste.
I should have gotten a Miller Lite.
Yeah, you really got burned.
It's bronzer.
Well, I basically started noticing my hair loss a couple years ago, so I started using Rogaine foam.
Only Rogaine foam is shown to regrow hair in 85% of guys.
It just brought about a lot of confidence.
Try new unscented Rogaine foam. Learn more at Rogaine.com.
More nights, more points. Real value from your friends at Hampton.
They've been called leaders, lifesavers, and world changers. They're also called Spartans.
Hi everybody, Doc Doherty here at I-95 Pre-Owned Supercenter. This is where we bring all of our trade-ins from I-95 Toyota. It's our annual tax time sales event on pre-owned trade-ins with tons of cars under $10,000. Take a look at this 2003 Toyota Tacoma, only $88.75. And look at this, 2000 Toyota 4Runner, $57.95. Tax time sales prices and oil changes for life. I-95 Pre-Owned Supercenter, where the markdown monster saves you money.
Salesmen. Every dealership has them. Trucks. Lots of dealerships have those too. But Dan Vaden Chevy in Brunswick has truck experts. Dan Vaden Chevy truck experts know everything there is to know about trucks, and they know how to get you the best deals. Right now, new 2011 Silverado Crew Cabs just $289 a month. Take up to $3,000 off every Silverado model in stock or get 0% financing. Don't waste time with truck salesmen and high prices. Visit the truck experts at Dan Vaden Chevy in Brunswick. We'll go the extra mile for you.
To siorder.com or call 800-632-2700 now.
We welcome you back to college basketball presented by 5-Hour Energy. It's all part of Judgment Week presented by the movie Battle Los Angeles. And it's Purdue up 33-24 as we get ready for the second half here at the Breslin Center. Michigan State in need of some life. We take a look at today's game recap. brought to you by Motorola Zoom. And really, it's been a Juwan Johnson show.
Double-double already. He's gone inside. He's knocked in a 3. He's rebounded, and that's the most important thing. Purdue knows, everybody knows when you play Michigan State, you have to out-rebound it. For Michigan State, Draymond Green doesn't have a basket. They're 0 for 7 from the three-point line. Tough first half on offense.
Now, what do they have to do aside from obviously hit some threes at some point? That's a problem going back 2.5 games to get back in this thing.
I think they've got to throw the ball on the block. I think Draymond Green and Delvon Rowe have to go on the block, work together, play inside, outside. If they do that, they will start making threes and they will get to the foul line.
Tom Izzo's team coming in on the bubble at 16 and 11. Kalen Lucas could use a little more help. Certainly Johnson's getting help from his running mate E'Twaun Moore. They've combined for 23, but not many pitching in with Kalen Lucas, and immediately they throw it away.
Well, fine. Sometimes you're going to throw it away, but that's where to go. Draymond Green just need a little patience there because he had Delvon Rowe if he had waited a split second longer.
Purdue trying for their 24th win of the season and their 6th in a row. They are the hottest team in the Big Ten, pressing Ohio State suddenly. Bird, no, front of the iron. Here's Lucas again, 15 points to lead his team in scoring, averaging 21 a game over the last 8. Lost the dribble. Off to Appling. Freshman out of Detroit, who could be their next great point guard.
And he's in because they love his defense. They think he is the best matchup for E'Twaun Moore.
And he commits an offensive foul.
You know, I'm talking about throwing the ball in the block. And they tried to do that on that possession. The problem was, and this is where E'Twaun Moore is so good, he would not allow the point-to-wing pass. He denied it 3 times in that possession because Michigan State wanted the ball on the wing to feed Draymond Green on the left block. Moore would not let it get in there.
Moore, fake, fired, no. Rebound picked off by Green, and there's a whistle. He got fouled, 18:52 to go. And this one is Bird will record his 3rd foul.
DJ Bird knows he has to play. He has to rebound. That's been Purdue's thing with him since September. And he was over aggressive there fouling, and Matt Painter just looked at him and said, "That's dumb. Just relax." But he can't because he knows he has to rebound the play.
So Bird out because of fouls, but Tom Izzo just took Draymond Green out of the game. Just seconds virtually into the second half. How come?
I don't have the answer because I think Draymond Green on the left block, and maybe he's telling him that. Maybe he's just saying, listen, you're gonna have to go down there, demand the ball, not turn it over because he had a turnover.
Boy, Juwan Johnson with his 3rd block. Tom Izzo always has a message.
He's the best there is at going back and forth with players to get his point across. And he will listen, as you see here, to what a player is saying. Sometimes the player doesn't like it, and sometimes Izzo doesn't like what the player is saying.
Nice spin, but another block by Juwan Johnson. He's having a tremendous ball game here. Corner jumper Smith, no, rebound caught, and a foul with 18:20 to go.
I'd be surprised if you didn't see Draymond Green get up here maybe in the next possession or 2. Again, spin move. You've got to know that Juwan Johnson is there. And again, look how Appling is falling forward. Against a shot blocker, you can't fall because it gives the shot blocker time to react to the ball. You have to jump up, not fall forward.
Rowe with his 3rd foul to put Carroll at the line. He missed the first one. He missed them both.
Just not a very confident stroke.
Nobody has scored in the second half, so a choppy start for both Michigan State and Purdue.
This is a staple right here. Look the ball go on the block to Rowe.
Rowe on Carroll. Working on him and draws the whistle. And a foul, 18:01 left. Carroll will pick up his 2nd, a flurry of whistles to open the half.
This has been the Big Ten way this year. Early in the second half, I don't know if the Big Ten offices tell, but early in the second half, you get a ton of whistles.
Payne on the drive. He's fouled. Boy, an ugly start to this half. And in fact, the game started in a similar fashion. There were no points in the first 2 minutes of the game.
The game started kind of frenetic.
Yes.
The ball being thrown under the basket, out of bounds. And this one, as you said, choppy.
Yeah, Ryan Smith with his third foul to add to that. Rowe calling for some help. Now it's Lucas against Lewis Jackson. It's a terrific matchup. Rowe got it back out to the guard. On the drive. Appling trying to get closer, and another whistle and another foul.
The reason you have to play Draymond Green in this game, Delvon Rowe had terrific post position. But because Adrian Payne is not a threat to step out outside of 5 feet, Juwan Johnson was in there ready to block anything that Delvon Rowe wanted to do, so now Green is back.
Etuan Moore's second foul. The 6th foul whistled in the early minutes of the second half. Both teams combined there to start the half, so ugly. On a back down roll and traveling. So moving those feet 33-24 still.
Well, again, you traveled fine. You got to keep going in there. You have to keep forcing the ball in because eventually it'll break open for your perimeter.
Jackson lifts. No. And we're still frozen on the same score we had at halftime. And here's Keebler. Again, making his 3rd consecutive start. Instead of Darrell Summers, who now comes off the bench, at least right now, with Tom Izzo. Turned over. Here's Jackson. He can fly and lays it in.
I just have a feeling that Darrell Summers is going to be involved for the last 10, 12 minutes in a positive way for Michigan State. Nothing he has done has led me to say that other than he came off the screen at the end of the half flying and lifted up like Darrell Summers of old.
Lucas off target and a push in the rebounding action. Foul on the deck with 16:44 left. That'll go against Purdue, and if they get Smith, that's going to be number 4 on Ryan Smith. And it is. Out he comes. And Tyrone Johnson will replace him.
Tyrone Johnson has played so well, and Barlow has played so well. Not necessarily this game for Barlow, but Purdue is, because of those two guys, and particularly Johnson's development, a really deep team.
Michigan State with 4 turnovers this half. That's on 5 trips. So Tom Izzo thinks it's got to get better. His team pressing for an NCAA tournament bid. Green, sweet move with the left hand.
The whole half he should be on that left block. I said right block in the first half. I made a mistake. 2 hours a day, he should be on the left. 2 hours on game day, he should be on the left block and going to work. Nobody I've seen in the Big Ten has been able to stop it.
Etuan Moore spins himself and lays it in, and a foul as well. Sweet move out of Etuan Moore, the senior out of East Chicago, Indiana.
Well, let's look at Draymond Green. On the left block, he is really comfortable. Takes his man to the middle, Johnson, and uses his backside to clear space now. Same thing here, except it's on the right block. Etuan Moore. Delvon Rowe's got to come over and seal that off and make him kick it and make Johnson shoot the basketball. Etuan Moore has great patience. Probably his best asset as a basketball player, Etuan Moore, is his calmness and his patience, offensively and defensively.
And a 3-point play after the Keebler foul. 38-26, 13 for Etuan. He came in averaging about 19 points a game. The double team now. But he can pass out of it with anybody. And Summers hits it. Man, do they need that. Finally, they've hit a 3. Their first of the day. They are 1 for 9.
Look at how this energized. Just by the entire place knows that Darrell Summers is struggling, and so they reacted like this when he hit a shot.
Knocked away, but they'll keep it here. 15:25 to go.
Well, Summers hits the shot, but Draymond Green on the left block, he just knows how to play. He finds Summers all the way across the court, and everybody in the gym is fired up.
Wednesday Night Hoops. The action tips at 7 on ESPN.
While others are content to imitate, we'll continue to innovate. The Lexus RX. Why settle for a copy when you can own the original? See your Lexus dealer.
The future of mobile computing starts now. The new Motorola Xoom, powered by the latest Android technology, with lightning-fast performance, uncompromising web access, and eye-opening HD for the total entertainment experience. It's everything the tablet should be.
There once was a hungry road that wouldn't let drivers get very far. It wore out their tires, forcing them to buy new ones time and time again. Then along came the Michelin Man who proved the right tire changes everything. With long-lasting tires in place, those drivers were back on the road to saving money. Michelin Hydro Edge tires last up to 33,000 miles longer. Michelin, a better way forward.
Let me get this straight. All you can eat pancakes, $4?
Yep.
When do you close?
Oh, we don't.
Excellent.
Unlimited pancakes for an unlimited time. Only $4 and only at Denny's.
Linens and duvet washed fresh for every guest. Real value from your friends at Hampton.
Hey, I am really distracted by this sandwich. I'm probably going to veer into your lane, so watch out.
Accidents don't announce themselves. That's why the RX helps protect you with 360 degrees of safety. See your Lexus dealer.
It's a whiteout day here at the Breslin Center, and the Michigan State fans trying to put a scare into the Purdue Boilermakers. So far, it's not really taking. 15-25 to go, Dan, in the contest.
At least the guy went formal with the bow tie.
Yes, that was a classic.
I wonder what his problem is with Painter.
Yeah, Matt Painter.
The fact that he's on the other side.
Yeah. He's out for Matt. And
We'll
Lucas
see.
and Juwan Johnson, by the way, no points in this half. The two top scorers in the first half.
We'll see now if Darrell Summers can get going here. Sometimes it just takes a shot. Sometimes a shot doesn't matter. What I would like to see them do with Summers to really get him going is hit him on the right side as he's running in transition. I think a finish around the rim would go a long way towards getting him going.
He was so good in the NCAA tournament last year. Is a huge reason they advanced to yet another Final Four. 6 Final Four trips in 12 years for Tom Izzo's Michigan State team.
He really picked it up for his teammates. Remember, Lucas went down against Maryland. Corey Lucius played great, but Darrell Summers, outstanding player in the region.
Every four-year player under Tom Izzo has played in at least one Final Four. That's extraordinary.
That's not bad. Think they use that in recruiting?
Yeah, as well they should. Here's Green slicing in the lane for a bucket. He's going to work into there.
He's got to be on the left block. Purdue's going to have to figure who's going to beat us. Okay, Appling. Watch for the double next time coming from Appling's man.
A little more energy in the building all of a sudden. Michigan State within 7. Johnson will fire it up. That didn't look good coming off his hand, did it?
No, that's 4 plays going back to the first half that Johnson's been involved in too quick. He's more of an end of the play guy if nothing else goes. He's not a first option guy.
Well, if you're Michigan State, there's a ton of time left, but you have to play every possession like it's a giant possession.
No question, because Purdue will figure out the defense and get you locked down.
Green again and close, denied by Johnson. That time he swatted another one away. Defensively, he has been spectacular. Carroll can't finish. Right underneath, gets another chance and can't do it. Michigan State comes away with it, and Barlow committed the foul as he got a little too rough. 14 minutes to go, and the tide seems to be turning in the Spartans' favor.
Travis Carroll has played so well for Purdue. Just lack of concentration. And then when you get it back, you're just not going to get a call. There's no way they were going to call a foul. And Kelsey Barlow just silly, reaching in when he had no shot to get the ball.
So he will sit.
When he is really good, Barlow, Purdue is really good. And he's inconsistent with his practice habits. He's inconsistent with his concentration. And he started the game out when he came in with a couple turnovers.
He can really guard when he's focused. Lucas up top now. Purdue is 2 for 10 since the second half started, but a misfire by the Spartans. 38-31, Boilermakers. Matt Painter calling out a play. E'Twaun Moore. Summers chasing him. The turnaround pop. Got it.
Summers chasing him. And then Lucas came in to help. So he just spun away from Lucas. Now, Summers has to walk up into him. You have to know that E'Twaun Moore puts a fade out mid-range jump shots, and the way to defend it is walk into the shooter.
Then he can pop out and hit the three where he hits 41%. Rowe attacking, and another block shot by Juwan Johnson. He has 6 in the game.
He has dominated the inside.
Moore. That one missed badly. And it'll be Spartan ball with 12:54 to go. Well, ESPN is the home court of college hoops. Tomorrow, a great doubleheader at 7. It's Villanova going to South Bend against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, a top 10 opponent. And then at 9 Eastern, Kansas State. Man, are they playing well, taking on Texas. Back to the block.
I said E'Twaun Moore is dominating the inside. The numbers are great. 6 block shots, 12 rebounds. But more than that, everybody now from Michigan State knows where he is. And everybody's a little slower. Well, they need to go the other way. Speed up and go right at it.
Lucas, baseline, little bump, tosses, no. And it'll go the other way. The crowd thought it was going to be off of Juwan Johnson, and they would keep it. Izzo thought the same thing. But instead, it's Purdue ball.
Can I clear myself? I meant Johnson,
Juwan
not
Johnson.
Moore.
Yeah.
Moore's having a nice game.
Take a look.
Looked like off Rowe's right backhand.
It did. Looked like they got it right. Looked like John Higgins got the call right. Caleb Lucas 0 for his last 5 shooting.
Caleb Lucas, of those 5 shots, 4 of them have been him trying to get contact with his hip instead of just going up and shooting the ball. Trying to clear space instead of shooting.
Shot clock to 10. Jackson penetrates. The lane opened up and a foul as well.
Shot clock winding down. The scouting report on Jackson is don't let him go to the right. Watch his little hesitation here. Little inside out. Boom. Goes to his right. Rowe late. But that's on Caleb Lucas. He had help in the left corner, and he allowed Jackson to go where he wants to go. And that is right. You cannot be allowed to go to his right.
Foul went on Lucas. No three-point play. 42-31. This is one of the maddening things for Spartan fans all year. Lucas with the drive and the bucket. Just when it appears they're about to really go on the attack and really flip a team, they make mistakes, defensive breakdowns. It has to be driving Tom Izzo crazy.
And it's one of the things that Purdue's doing really well.
Which got bumped, no.
Which is get production from everybody at different times. Jackson last possession.
Lucas with an open jumper. Green crashing the glass. Summers saved it back over to Jackson on a spin. Now they've got numbers. A 4-on-1 and a stuff by Johnson.
Where Juwan Johnson ran the floor. He was out of the play. It looked like it was going to be to E'Twaun Moore, but Juwan Johnson out of nowhere flying down the floor.
He has 15 and 12. Those were his first points in the second half. And again, a comfortable lead for the Boilermakers. Just when it seems like the Spartans are going to crawl back in it. Green with a bad pass, denied. Intended for Rowe. And again, big numbers. The swing for Moore, and Tom Izzo probably needs a timeout here. 46-33.
Durrell Summers did not get his head under the basket and just kind of half played that last transition. Purdue gets out on transition. Remember, they are leading the conference in scoring. They have no problem running here. You see Juwan Johnson come right down the middle and finish around the basket. Now here, this is on Durrell Summers. He has to protect the basket first. 2 guys get behind him.
While others are content to imitate, we'll continue to innovate. The Lexus RX. Why settle for a copy when you can own the original? See your Lexus dealer.
The wolf. It killed again.
The killer lives here.
Have you told anyone else about this?
Come away with me. It's here.
Red Riding Hood. Rated
18 starts March 11th.
So how you liking the taste of that Diet Mountain Dew?
It's great. Unexpected. In fact, since I've been drinking it, I went and got this. Wow.
I know what you mean. Since I tasted it, I went and got this.
The taste of Diet Mountain Dew is a powerful thing. Diet tastes better on the mountain.
Logistics was once the dominion of a very few. The largest and most powerful organizations. Logistics was our secret weapon. Logistics was our black art. The thought that any business, any upstart could access the power of logistics. That's unthinkable.
Hey, I am really distracted by this sandwich. I'm probably going to veer in your lane, so watch out.
Accidents don't announce themselves. That's why the RX helps protect you with 360 degrees of safety. See your Lexus dealer.
Well, Juwan Johnson has absolutely taken over the middle, both offensively and defensively. We don't have time to show you all the blocks, so we'll just show you 5 of them here. Great awareness to the ball, terrific timing. But you would expect that from a kid that's played not only as long, but as well as Juwan Johnson has over the course of his career.
Yeah, Michigan State fans have been silenced here into the second half, except for a couple of flurries. Green takes the feed, leaves it short, tipped into the corner by Juwan Johnson. So it'll be Spartans ball here, and we'll break again with 10:38 left. And Johnson trying to make sure the Spartans don't get back in it.
Free hot breakfast with fresh waffles. Real value from your friends at Hampton.
Thought you were dead. You hoped I was dead. Not the same.
You've never experienced 3D like this. Drive Angry.
Anyone not trying to kill you?
No.
Rated R. Now playing.
The Louisiana Delta. History is here.
The Bassmaster Classic night.
Fame is here. So is disappointment.
Oh my God! Oh.
The Bassmaster Classic Trophy is here. So are 50 bass fishing legends who want to take it home.
Yeah!
Every angler's dream is here. Every catch is big.
Is the IRS stalking you? Do you feel like you're at the end of your rope?
Hello, I'm John Harris, president of J.K. Harris & Company. Over the past decade, our ex-IRS agents and tax professionals have successfully negotiated settlements for our clients, saving them millions of dollars. They know how to make the system work for you.
Call now for a free face-to-face local appointment and J.K. Harris's free IRS tax secrets. Call 800-906-8318. 800-906-8318.
Metal detecting. It's the hobby that pays for itself. Just ask Terry Herbert. He discovered the largest Anglo-Saxon treasure ever found. More than 1,500 artifacts worth over $2 million. And he found it with his metal detector from White's Electronics. Call right now for your free catalog. Models start at under $200 and feature screens that show you what's in the ground before you dig. Call for your free catalog and start detecting today. Imagine what you'll find.
To siorder.com or call 800-632-2700 now.
Well, no doubt the player of the game so far for Purdue, a 46-33 lead at Michigan State, has been Juwan Johnson with 15 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 blocks. And, you know, you say with 10 minutes to go, could he get 4 more blocks? Could he have a triple-double? The way he's going, yeah.
Absolutely. You know, he's the only active player in the country with 1,700 points, 750 rebounds, and 200 blocks. There's no doubt. They will keep going at him, so he will have opportunity to get 4 more blocks.
Well, the Spartans in dire need of a spark and a run here. Green into the lane. Can't connect. tears away the rebound. He's tied up, and on a possession arrow, Purdue has the basketball.
Really frustrating for Draymond Green. Right on the rim. This is the second time in 2 possessions. Just goes over Johnson. That's to protect the players. That's why referees are calling jump balls a little quicker, to protect players from swinging elbows. Not a bad call there on the jump ball.
Approaching 10 minutes to go here in East Lansing. And the Spartans in deep trouble. A team on the bubble for the NCAA tournament. A pass tip, 9:57 to go. 7 on the shot clock. Bird returns for Purdue. Carroll will step out, and so will the youngster Tyrone Johnson.
7 on the clock here. I look for the ball to come back to E'Twaun Moore.
4 to shoot for Jackson. Over Rowe.
Good defense by Michigan State right there. Not only on the ball, but Appling not allowing the ball to come back to Moore.
Did not touch the rim. A shot clock violation. 46-33. Well, that's the man, number 15 in white, Darrell Summers. If you ask Tom Izzo and his coaching staff right now, who's the key for his team for the rest of the half, it's probably that guy.
Coach Izzo, in talking to him before the game, feels good about his team, but he knows. He knows if we're going to be a tough out like everybody thinks we can be, he has to play something.
Lucas taken away by Smith as he denied. Back to Jackson. He will lay it up and in, and a foul too. Appling with the personal.
Lewis Jackson, terrific finisher, fast. He had a look in the last 5 minutes of the Indiana game that I hadn't seen out of him. And I can't exactly describe it other than to say tough, confident, and knows he belongs now in the upper echelon of guards in the Big Ten.
8 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, make it 9 points now. He's really been the best guard on the floor.
He has been, and maybe, you know, when you're 5'7" or 8, you have to be a good layup shooter. Some guys aren't, but Jackson, we talk about this all the time with inside guys, he really explodes when he gets inside the lane.
Both back out for Summers, in and out with a jump shot. So the lead is 16 for the Boilermakers, and they have the ball. And remember, Ohio State leading by 1 in the Big Ten, by 1 game. As that lead has been cut down, they are on the floor against Indiana today. And no finish there by Juwan Johnson off the feed for Moore. Lucas on the run, lays it in.
That's about the first mistake Johnson and Moore have made in 6 games. Moore just on the lob pass threw it a little bit too high and soft timing, just a bit off, but credit Lucas getting it going.
Johnson right back at him with a 3.
That's a senior. That's a senior. And he didn't get all excited. You can see he's got a little grin, but kind of like, this is what I'm supposed to do.
He has 18. And of course, he's had a great day on the glass as well, with 13 rebounds and 6 block shots. Kalen Lucas. Rowe trying to get closer out of the double team. No. 14 rebounds for Juwan Johnson. And this one slipping away from Michigan State. They certainly had a window when they had cut the lead down to 7. And it seemed like momentum was on their side. They were getting the building behind them. But Purdue came right back at and punched them in the mouth. And here's Jackson to lay it in.
That's just, Coach Izzo and I talked about that before the game. The flat ball screen. Jackson going to his right. Summers kind of gave up on it. Nobody there to help out.
Jackson with 11 points. Timeout again with 7:29 left. And Purdue may be bleeding away Michigan State's NCAA tournament hopes. The 68 teams have to make it. The Spartans have been playing awfully well as of late, but not today.
There's your flat ball screen, and nobody coming over. That was the play that Tom Izzo was most concerned about, because as Lewis Jackson goes, Purdue goes at times.
Well, talking about Juwan Johnson, the day he's having today in a very big game for both teams, and for Purdue very much in the hunt for a Big Ten tournament championship. Big Ten Player of the Year. We've talked about Sullinger all year, who's been spectacular. but Juwan Johnson's come up huge today.
Juwan Johnson on both ends of the floor has dominated this game. You know, he rebounded in traffic to start the game, finished, he's made 2 threes. I think, and you'd agree, Dave, these are the 3 guys that you look at that potentially most valuable player of the year. And all 3 of them you can make a case for. Sullinger probably the leader.
Of course, Taylor had that great game, and he's had huge games when they've really mattered the most for Bo Ryan and Wisconsin. Had that incredible half against Ohio State and beating the Buckeyes, who at that time were #1 and undefeated.
And that's what you like about Johnson and Moore. I mean, it's great to have a nice tournament in Las Vegas and during feast week, but now they're doing it against teams and coaches playing against them for the second time, where they've had times to prepare
during Judgment Week.
And they've just, Moore and Johnson have dominated here over the last now 6 games. Johnson all year. Moore, after a horrendous middle of the season, has really come on.
He has the ball now. Michigan State, by the way, 2 for their last 12. Jackson has caught fire and continues. A 3-pointer, 57-35.
And I want to clarify what I said. Moore had a horrendous shooting 3 games, not a horrendous play.
He's rebounding.
Yeah, he's been a terrific rebounder, defender, facilitator his entire career.
2-pointer there for Lucas. Been a little bit of a spark today with 21, but it's a 20-point lead for the Boilermakers, and they are demoralizing Michigan State.
And I have to kind of clear up myself. I said, and I've said this before, that I thought Lewis Jackson was kind of a MAC-level guard last year, and he certainly is anything but a MAC-level guard. He is an upper echelon guard in a league full of terrific point guards.
And 2 more for Juwan Johnson. 20 points, 13 rebounds. And a timeout for Michigan State. Actually, 14 rebounds for Johnson. And Purdue just piling on at this point, aren't they? 59-37 on the road. Well, ESPN is the home court of college hoops Tuesday night. 3 games coming up at 7 Eastern. It's Purdue again taking on Illinois. Also at 7, ESPNU brings you Alabama and Florida. And then at 9 o'clock Eastern on ESPN, you can watch Vanderbilt against Kentucky in the SEC.
Juwan Johnson with 20 and 15. This will be the 13th time. This is the 13th time in 15 games that he has scored 20 points. And you see he's done it from everywhere, including knocking in 2 threes. It's one thing to do this again in November, but this is Michigan State. Desperation mode, thinking they have to get a win here, and Juwan Johnson has just come in and dominated the action. I don't know how else to put it. I mean,
well, he's had a game maybe not on the same level that E'Twaun Moore had, the 38 against Ohio State. Keebler with a jump shot, but looking like too little too late here for Michigan State. He has 6 points. We're doing 26 points in his half, all by Jackson, Johnson, and Moore. So those 3 collectively have been terrific, but no one has been a brighter start today than Juwan Johnson. 5:18 to go. On the drive, Moore. The kick out for Jackson, left alone. Can't bury it. Green with a baseball pass. Summers, nicely done to Payne to slam it. You know, if that dunk had come about 6 minutes ago, really would have gotten loud in here. 59-41.
Matt Painter wants to use clock, but he wants to keep offense moving. And his players kind of just want to dribble around.
Jackson harassed by Lucas. Knocked away. That's off the leg. It'll go the other way. It'll be Spartan basketball. But everything else has gone Purdue's way today because Jackson and company have been tremendous.
While others are content to imitate, we'll continue to innovate. The Lexus RX. Why settle for a copy when you can own the original? See your Lexus dealer.
If you have the audacity to believe that a financial advisor should look you in the eye when the topic is your money,
join the nearly 7 million investors who think like you do. FaceTime and Think Time make a difference. At Edward Jones, it's how we make sense of investing.
Light beer.
More taste or less taste?
I don't care.
Kind of how your girlfriend doesn't care that you're borrowing her pants?
It's called skinny jeans. Kind of in right now.
They're kind of not.
Man up and choose a light beer with more taste. Grab a triple hops brewed Miller Lite with that great Pilsner taste.
Hey! Score still 21-32?
Yeah, just like a jean size.
Trouble, 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 trouble. Trouble been dog in my soul since the day I was born. Worry, oh, worry, 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 worry.
When it comes to things you care about, leave nothing to chance. Travelers, take the scary out of life.
More nights, more points. Real value from your friends at Hampton.
Hey, I am really distracted by this sandwich. I'm probably going to veer in your lane, so watch out.
Accidents don't announce themselves. That's why the RX helps protect you with 360 degrees of safety. See your Lexus dealer.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by 5 Hour Energy, the no-wait, no-hassle way to a great morning. And in part by your local Lexus dealer. And Edward Jones. Join the nearly 7 million investors who know FaceTime and Think Time make a difference.
Oh, those championship dreams that Urban Magic Johnson realized back in 1979 must feel a long way away for the Spartans right now. Of course, he led them to the national title in '79, 24 points against Larry Bird and Indiana State.
Larry Bird's team undefeated that year. Only lost championship game in Utah.
A hallmark college basketball game. Michigan State at home, their low scoring total 55 in a loss against Texas early. And a swoop shot no good by Draymond Green. He's going to reach in and commit a foul with 4:20 to go. Next up for Purdue, the Fighting Illini coming up on Tuesday. Illinois on the bubble, 18-11. Nice win against Iowa yesterday. Quality wins, Carolina, Michigan State, and Wisconsin.
5 road wins for Illinois all year. That's okay. I'm just going with the NCAA committee when I went to their mock selection, what they talk about. Non-conference strength of schedule at 54. That's okay. If any team defined bubble, I'm thinking it's Illinois. Now they have opportunity. We have the game Tuesday night at Purdue. They get that one. They're in.
They're a lock. And Joe Lunardi has them in as of this morning in any event, seeking a Big Ten tournament bye. Purdue 2.5 games separating 5th through 10th place in the Big Ten standings. Purdue on top here 59-41. So Barlow to the line, where he's a 67% foul shooter.
Doesn't dribble. Just gets the ball, kind of looks at it.
Do you like that style?
If it works, I like it. If it doesn't work, free throws are like golf swings. Everybody has a different one, and whatever works for you.
Spoken like a coach. If it works, keep doing it.
I like the first one. I didn't like it on the second one.
So 60-41. It took forever for the Spartans to hit a three-pointer, and the threes have really not started to fall. Even with that, the lay-in by Draymond Green. Under 4 to play. Pressure here by the Spartans. Barlow gets it across midcourt. And fouled from behind by Keebler. To stop the clock with 3:49 remaining. And Purdue up 60-43 on the road.
So how you liking the taste of that Diet Mountain Dew?
It's great. Unexpected. In fact, since I've been drinking it, I went and got this. Wow.
I know what you mean. Since I tasted it, I went and got this.
Taste of Diet Mountain Dew is a powerful thing. Diet tastes better on the mountain.
Hi, I'm Reese Davis. The journey has begun for the Capital One Cup. At the end of the school year, one men's and one women's Division I athletics program will win this coveted award given to the school with the best on-field performance in NCAA Division I championships. Each winning school will receive $200,000 to fund student-athlete graduate-level scholarships. Follow your school and check the standings at CapitalOneCup.com.
Well, I basically started noticing my hair loss a couple years ago, so I started using Rogaine foam.
Only Rogaine foam is shown to regrow hair in 85% of guys.
It just brought about a lot of confidence.
Try new unscented Rogaine foam. Learn more at Rogaine.com.
You're gonna get strung out. Air ball. I got this. Still world champion Bob Knight.
On the line.
Don't you hate it when she's right? To learn more, go to ontheline.com.
There you are. Scooch.
Oh.
So, Houston, great outing today. I'm gonna need you to go again tomorrow.
But I haven't had a day off all week.
Yeah, I know. But no one's bigger than the team, right? If I get one more group email from Chad Keeling about my rotation, I'm gonna lose it.
Tomorrow's still
great. So you will go again tomorrow.
Is that your foot?
I don't know. My legs are numb.
Get closer to the game. ESPN Fantasy Baseball. Sign up for free at ESPN.com.
Rob Stone here in North Brunswick, New Jersey, where coming up at the top of the hour, your #1 seed and PBA Hall of Famer Norm Duke will bowl for the most prestigious tournament in bowling history, the 68th edition of the U.S. Open, coming up at the top of the hour.
Rob, thank you very much. A little fuel here for Buzz Lightyear inside the Breslin Center. Hey, you know, Michigan State, as their team event on Friday, they went bowling. And given the way this game has gone, ping pong's better be next because it's backfired on them.
Maybe instead of bowling, they should have worked on their defense, or I don't know. Finishing around the rim.
Yeah.
You know, you try that as a coach, though. You try anything, get kids together as often as you can. You don't want to wear them out, but bowling, as you said, ping pong, taking the team to movies, that's a staple. And then the trash talking involved with bowling is the most fun part of it.
Had no idea. Barlow makes that one. And Michigan State, of course, one of the staples. And Del Monroe was part of a pretty deep team last year that went to the Final Four. One of their staples has been depth, but today Kalen Lucas has scored almost half of their points by himself.
Draymond Green has missed shots around the rim. Summers made the 1-3 and hasn't really been involved.
Payne in heavy traffic, denied from behind and taken away by Johnson. So not only did he block the shot, but he also took it back, Bill Russell style.
The hope for Michigan State is that Adrian Payne is watching how good Juwan Johnson is and understands that that's who I need to be as I move through my career. Doesn't help him today, but in the future.
Well, it has to be a very discouraging effort for Tom Izzo because his team was actually playing quite well coming in, having won 3 of their last 4, spurring hopes of an NCAA tournament bid and maybe a 20-win season. And those things are still possible as Lucas drains that jump shot. But they really got smacked today by Purdue, a team playing at another level.
The best I've seen a team play in the Big Ten was Ohio State. Games that I have done and been involved with courtside. Ohio State against Purdue a few weeks ago, but this is second. They have been confident, tough, in tune to one another. After about the first 2-minute mark, 3-minute mark of the first half.
So they started out a little bit rough with turnovers early, but then calmed down. And for about the next 15 minutes of the first half, they played darn near flawless basketball. And there's Barlow with a long-range shot.
1 for 10 all year from the three-point line. Hadn't made a 3 in the Big Ten.
Timeout. Tom Izzo and Michigan State. Tom was actually pretty happy and chipper about the way his team had been performing coming into this game, but This one is set him back.
Told me win or lose, and he knew this was going to be a difficult game to win, obviously, but he said win or lose, the most important thing for us is playing well, because he felt like they were playing tougher. Now, tough is great, but you have to combine tough, smart, and well, and certainly the well did not play well today.
A big reason, Juwan Johnson, who's been just spectacular.
Well, Johnson, we've documented, turned to his right shoulder, something new, hitting threes, something new. And Etuan Moore with such patience, and just when he gets inside the lane, better than anybody that I've seen in college basketball. This is the biggest difference right here is the play of Lewis Jackson. Lewis Jackson, as Paul Lusk, the outstanding assistant coach at Purdue, told me before the game, as he goes, we go.
Well, Johnson and Moore, as far as the highest scoring duos, right now number 3 in Division I this season. Johnson today with 20 points, but 17 rebounds. That's a new career high. And the 7 block shots ties his career high.
And he really hasn't changed expression. He's just come out here and expected, it looks like, to do what it is that he is doing. This is 3 in a row, Dave. Remember, people were talking about, can Purdue win on the road? This is 3rd road win in a row for Purdue.
Well, you look at how good they've been, beating Wisconsin, beating Ohio State, and then state rival Indiana, which is always a very emotional game. Those have been their last 3 wins. And now coming to Michigan State against a team that had been playing very good basketball lately and thumping them on their home floor. And up by 20 here, under 2 minutes to go.
You know, they've just taken the life out of teams. I thought last 5 minutes in Assembly Hall, it was a charged up environment for 30, 35 minutes. But they just took the life out of IU. And they've taken the life out of Michigan State here today.
And Derek Nix getting into the ball game. The big sophomore from Detroit. He drops into 65-47. But the Boilermakers about to improve to 24-5 and 13-3 in the Big Ten, and putting on a little pressure. The Buckeyes facing Indiana in a game that'll tip in about an hour. And Ohio State with a 1-game lead coming into play today. More airborne, no, and Payne with a rebound. So 1:07 to go here at the Breslin Center. Off target by Lucas, who for a long time in the first half was the offense for Tom Izzo's team. Here's what Matt Painter and the Boilermakers have left on the schedule as Johnson comes out. Illinois and then at Iowa, both of those games on ESPN, so we will be hot on the trail of the Boilermakers.
Now, you and I are going to chase the team bus. Illinois always dangerous when they're shooting the ball. Coaches around the Big Ten tell me if Illinois sees the ball go in early, they get charged up. Now, we did not see that last week at Ohio State. They made 8 of their 9 threes, but they weren't guarding. They guarded yesterday against Iowa. It's going to be an interesting game Tuesday night.
This will be the lowest home scoring total for Michigan State this season, as Purdue has put it on the Spartans today, 67-47. That is 6 consecutive wins for the Boilermakers, and the race is very much alive in the Big Ten for the conference title, because with this win, Purdue is now just a half game behind Ohio State in the standings.
And who would have thunk it? A couple weeks ago, Ohio State will wrap this thing up. Next thing you know, we have a race.
So last Sunday against Ohio State, it was Etuan Moore with 38, a career high. Today at Michigan State, Matt Painter gets a tremendous effort out of Juwan Johnson. A career day for him. 20 points, 17 rebounds, and 7 block shots for the big senior from Indianapolis. And Purdue sails to a win over Michigan State. So for Dan Dockich and our entire crew, I'm Dave O'Brien. Thanks so much for joining us on this Sunday afternoon. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Again, the final. Purdue pretty much all the way today, 67-47 over Michigan State. Back to John Saunders in the studio.
Alongside of Adrian Branch, so the Michigan State Spartans lose a golden opportunity to impress the committee. It drops them to 8-8 in the conference. You feel this is a team that is in this field? I mean, I believe with as tough as the Big Ten is.
Ooh, they're trying to hold on bad. They're trying to hold on bad. This was a missed opportunity, just like John said. You look at the Purdue team, that was a hot team, a nationally ranked team, but for Michigan State, they weren't able to score. 23 points in the first half, 24 points in the second half. When you didn't scratch 50 points, that's a tall order to get into the NCAA.
And Purdue, the Boilermakers, they might be climbing their way towards a #1 seed.
They've been earning it. First of all, they're healthy. They're good defensive team. You have star power in Etwan Moore, Jawan Johnson. They were consistent in the first half. They were consistent in the second half. And if you're a Matt Painter team, you are going to defend. But still, I quietly say, boy, what if they had 2 years of this with Robbie Hummel? Some kind of wonderful.
You like Robbie Hummel, but
Robbie Hummel was the deal breaker.
He is
the deal breaker.
All-American, no question about it. But you just wonder about chemistry and taking minutes.
No. He's been a star, John. He's a star. They're going to adjust around him, but they grew up together. Remember, they're upperclassmen. This was their payoff year, so they paid their dues the last 2 years. Last year and this year, this was going to be the big money year, the big payoffs.
You can't turn back the clock. Just remember, in the Big East, every day, a win, a loss, it shuffles things in a big way. UConn against Cincinnati, case in point. Cincinnati in the top 8 right now. Pete Rose watching the game. Jeremy Lamb free in the corner.